Hey everyone. From this video, we are starting a series for the Cosmos DB. It's a wonderful service, and it will require a couple of videos in the labs to understand it better. And this is one of the service which I do not think any platform has, and it's in demand. So with this very first video in Cosmos DB series, let's try to understand what it is and why it is so important and how this is going to help us, right? So let's try to understand the Cosmos DB first. I'll try to explain a few things and then we'll take you to the diagram. So that we'll summarize things in the diagram so that we can digest it or keep it in our mind. That's how we cement the knowledge, right? So let's start with the Cosmos DB. So the very first thing is Cosmos DB is a PaaS service, platform as a service. It's a cloud-based NoSQL DB service. NoSQL. We have seen Azure SQL in a couple of videos. That's a SQL DB. This is NoSQL DB service. So keep that in mind. In MS, Microsoft describe it as a globally distributed multi-model DB service for mission critical applications because it has those features and it is globally distributed and it has multiple model. Like it supports more than I think 5 APIs. We'll cover that in upcoming videos because it requires a special, maybe a couple of videos to explore all those APIs. But just to understand, that's why it's globally distributed and it's multi-model. So what we understood till now, well, Cosmos DB is fully managed service and have serverless kind of architecture, and it is an example of database as a service. So you do not have to set up the database server to manage them or manage them. Instead, you will just get an endpoint for your application to utilize. That's why I was saying kind of serverless architecture, because you don't need to set up any database. So you do not even need to think about the memory, CPU, hardware provisioning, OS optimization, updates and patches, or SSL certificates, etc., etc. Because, you know, as I mentioned, these are the benefits of the PaaS services. So all this operational overhead of managing database is gone. And because of this, it will save you a lot of time by not creating and managing this global distributed database and only focus on your app. Because this is not like a simple SQL that you put in on a virtual machine and it's working. It's globally distributed, right? Just that's the something keyword for Cosmos DB, global. It's global. And all this serverless architecture which Cosmos DB is providing is protected by amazing numbers, trust me. I mean, when we go with the IS or even PaaS services, how much we cater for the availability. Like if we use availability set, it's 99.95. We use zone, it's 99.9. Yeah, that's a good one. And even on the Microsoft SQL, it's I think 99.95. But if we talk about the Cosmos DB, it's 5 nines, you know, you heard it correct, 99.999% of uptime. Now, we know we have a little bit of idea in our head now what it is. Now it's time to understand why we need such a huge service or what problem this Cosmos is solving for us, right? Okay, so let's try to talk about it and understand a little deeper. So let's suppose there is no such service available, so that like Cosmos DB. So what will you do? Well, you'll try to create such kind of service with the available resources, right? Even if you try to set up the globally distributed database by your own, it is very difficult to manage such a huge infrastructure in global distributed application, and also maintain the uptime like the Cosmos SLA 99.999. And another pain point is to keep a sync between application schema and database schema and indexes, right? But with Cosmos DB, you do not have to deal with the schema or index management either. So the database engine is fully schema agnostic. Since no schema and index management is required, you also don't have to worry about application downtime while migrating schemas, right? So Cosmos DB automatically indexes all the data and serve queries faster. And looking at all these features, you may be thinking that Cosmos DB is not just a platform as a service, it is very close to SaaS application or the software as a service, and I couldn't agree more. All right, so let's explore it further so that we can also get some point how it can help us. So your data set is your data sets is replicated automatically within a data center, right? That's how it is, yeah, in the cloud. So you do not have to do anything about that. It just happens. But you can also replicate your data across multiple data centers distributed globally. If we talk about the Cosmos DB, and you don't need to do much for that. Just like if you remember the SQL video of mine where we were enabling the geo-replication of the failover group, it was very simple, right? There is a map, you got a mouse, you just click on that location you want to replicate the primary data, and that's how you can do it, like that simple. That's why we call it a turnkey global distribution, right? Just turning a key using your mouse. That's how you can utilize the features of Cosmos DB. That simple. Another very important feature is Cosmos DB is a multi-model database. This means it can support all kind of NoSQL databases because of those APIs I mentioned at the beginning. For example, if you have a key value database, Cosmos got a table API to handle it. If you got a document-based NoSQL, Cosmos can handle it. If you have a graph-based or column-based database, guess what? Cosmos can do it. So no matter what kind of database you have, I mean, the NoSQL database, Cosmos can handle it, right? And this was one of the reasons Microsoft Azure changed the name of this database, which used to, which was Document DB earlier, to Cosmos DB, because it does not make sense to continue calling this product as a document DB since it's no longer limited to storing JSON documents only. And this is why they changed the name to Cosmos DB. Yes, you heard it correct. It was introduced as a document DB, I think in 2011 or maybe 13, but in 15, they started calling it Cosmos DB. So, you know, it started as a document DB, but then it evolved to, and they started calling it as a Cosmos DB. And along with that, Microsoft also released SDKs for multiple programming languages. Yes, it supports all kind of languages like Java, .NET, Python, JavaScript. Many other languages are supported by Cosmos DB. And we talked about the SLA. So just wanted to segregate, because if you are going in a single region, it is 99.999, like 4 nines. But if you are going globally, it's 5 nines. Okay. And not only on availability, but on latency and throughput and consistency as well. So if you think, I mean, really think this is a big commitment from Microsoft, right? That SLA and taking care of all those things, even on the global standard, right? Okay, so not just availability, but available with the security. That is the best part, because Cosmos DB is certified for a wide array of compliance standards as well. All the data in Cosmos DB is encrypted at rest and also in motion, and you need not to do anything for that, you know. And it also provides a low-level authorization and many of the security features which we'll discuss. As I said, this would be a series of like a lot of videos uh, will be talking about the Cosmos DB. So we'll see, because these are the big topics and we want separate videos to handle those topics, all those aspects of those topics, right? So this is the very first video. So we'll just trying to understand what it is, how it can help us, and why we're going to use it, those kind of stuff. We are just trying to strengthen the base for the Cosmos DB. So Cosmos DB also provides unlimited scale for both storage and throughput. Throughput means the speed here, right? So there's a concept of horizontal partitioning in Cosmos DB, and horizontal partitioning, I'm not able to pronounce this word correctly. Partitioning, right? Partitioning. So horizontal partitioning allow Cosmos DB to scale limitlessly. That's what I want to mention here. The scalability, it provides that. Just like any other PaaS services, I think most of them provides. But since we're talking about the Cosmos DB, so it's limitless if you talk about the scale, right? In regards of throughput, in regards of storage, and I think throughput, there is some cap on 10,000 RUs, but you can request MS to increase it. It provides, so long story short, it provides amazing scalability. Similarly, you can tune the performance of your database by provisioning throughput as needed, right? And Cosmos DB automatically allocate necessary resource behind the scene to ensure the performance level. Okay, so you can store as much as data you want, and you can use the data with as much as speed you want. And let's talk about the pricing model a little bit, because I'm coming from the architecture background, and pricing is something which is very important when you create and design for the customer. So it prices separately, as we're talking about the storage and the throughput. So it prices separately. There's a price for the storage, there's a price for the throughput. And that goes just like in data warehouse, I think DW units, here we have RUs. Global distribution provide availability. But what about consistency? Because it's global, you know, there is a distance. For example, things in UK or Australia or India and UK, there's a huge physical distance. You cannot beat the physics. You gotta respect the principles, right? So let's say if you have one server in UK and other in Australia, and if the user is trying to access the data in Sydney, user does not have to wait for network latency, and the data is immediately available to Sydney user. What if at the same point in time somebody is updating the data in UK, right? There must be some delay, maybe milliseconds or seconds, because as I said, you cannot beat the physics. You gotta respect the principles, right? So consistency is all about whether or not you can be sure that the data you are reading at any point in time is in fact the latest version of the data. And in order to provide flexibility in consistency, Cosmos DB supports 5 levels of consistency, from strong to eventual. We need to understand those levels deeply, so it will require a little more than this. So we'll cover that in the later videos, but just to understand, it has 5 levels of understanding as per your application, as per your need. You can choose any of those from strong to eventual. Okay, so let's discuss some of the use case where we should consider using the Cosmos DB. So whenever you need a global distribution and high availability, you should always consider Cosmos DB. Remember, the keyword is global. I have mentioned a couple of times. When I was going through my certifications, it was there. It was there. In the scenario, they try to trick you, but the global is a word if you see, you know, and then if there is an option, Cosmos DB, that's your choice. So global distribution, if you're looking for, that's your man, Cosmos DB. Some of the applications like web application, mobile, or gaming. Let's put the IoT here. You know, IoT. A lot we are hearing about it. So IoT consists of various devices that emit data every fraction of a second, and Azure has a service called IoT Hub, which can receive these data from various IoT devices. And once the data is ingested into the hub, you can process it using HD Insight or Databricks. And then you can store this processed data into Cosmos DB so that it can use for the further processing. And Microsoft also use Cosmos DB in Microsoft e-commerce platform, Windows Store, or Xbox Live. Cosmos DB used in these applications to store product data or to search the products or perform the session, those kind of thing. And Cosmos DB can also be very useful in retail industry for storing catalog data and for even processing in order processing pipelines. If any one of you plays the game, online games where because we are playing online, people are playing from everywhere in the world with you. There's thousands of games like that, right? So games are highly mission critical, and all the scores are coming live, right? And should be very much available all the time. So that requires fast and highly available database. And according to Microsoft, Azure has already proved this worth in some of the very famous games like Walking Dead. Yes, there is a series and a game as well. So series came later, I think game came first. All right, so similarly, Azure, let's put it in perspective. Azure provides some various set of tools like a key value store, a traffic manager, or gateways, and of course Cosmos DB. And these tools can be used to build a social media applications, news feed, or mobile related application, various other frameworks. So the point is all these applications are globally distributed. That's how we are focusing. And by now, I think I believe you must have realized that while Microsoft called Cosmos DB for mission critical application, if anywhere you see global distribution or multi-model or highly available, this can help you think about the Cosmos DB could be your answer. If you're talking about the certification questions, and if you're talking about the architectural design, when you're sitting with the customer and customer has such kind of requirement, what to do, where to do, what to dig and where to dig, because it also supports, it's multi-model, right? Even customer is coming with its own application or with own database, there is something that can help you. So that's the Cosmos DB. Now let's try to summarize everything on the diagram so that it will help us to zoom in the knowledge. Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen quickly. There we go. All right, so Cosmos DB. Let me create 5 boxes here. And these are under Cosmos DB. So let me add the arrows quickly. All right, let's try put the things here. Like fully managed. Okay, we're just putting down the features here. Let me call it a PaaS or managed service, right? It's a database service. The things that we talked about: database service, serverless architecture, no operational overhead, no schema or index management. So it is a more or less SaaS kind of application, but we're putting it as a PaaS as per the Microsoft. So these are the things, these are the features that it provides. Along with that, it's globally distributed. Remember, turnkey global distribution. There's a map, there's a mouse, you just click and there you go, it starts the replication. Then we have multi-model and multi-language. As I said, there are like 5 APIs it supports in almost all kind of applications. Like I mentioned, Java, .NET, Python, Node.js or JavaScript, right? Then we talked about highly available. If you remember the SLAs, the amazing SLA numbers, 99.99, 99.999, and reliable, and the security we talked about during our session. Security like data is encrypted at rest, in motion, the other compliance standards it follows, even row level security, right? And then we have consistencies, the 5 level of consistencies, which required a separate video to understand, maybe more than one. So uh, if you remember, if you were with me, we talked about like strong to eventual. So they're like five consistency. Strong, like everybody is getting at the same time. Eventual, consistent, prefix, session, and bounded stateless. These 5 consistency level. So this is the more or less understanding of the Cosmos DB. And I hope it would have some kind of idea in your mind what it is. In upcoming videos, if you follow consistently the strong one, you'll get to know, understand Cosmos better. And once we start doing the lab, everything would be crystal clear in your minds. Well, thank you for watching. Till then, stay healthy, keep working out, and take care. Bye bye.